tuned into my weekly talk radio TV show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced and get happy with Dr. Marissa. And this show is about hope and happiness. So there's no gossip, no scandal. Instead, I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. So I have shows and topics.
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days.
Monday, Tuesday,
Happy days.
Wednesday, Thursday,
Happy days.
Friday, whatever.
Happy days.
What a day. Na-na-na, na-na-na.
I love you.
I love you too.
Best known as the mom from Happy Days, and she is a delightful 89-year young Marion Ross to my studio. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Dr. Marissa, this is such a treat for me.
Oh.
My goodness, you're a wonderment.
Which is exactly the kind of guest that I like. Those who have gone through life, good and bad, and then taken those experiences to alchemize them into the person they are now and doing good on the planet. I'd like you to welcome Corey Feldman.
If you're grateful for it and you say right away, thank you, God. Oh, my God, it's so beautiful. I'm so blessed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Then guess what? More good things will come to you.
Does this sound familiar at all? She's back again to mark my Cancer Awareness and Prevention Month show. Please welcome Fran Drescher. Hi, Fran.
On and supporting cancer schmance. I really appreciate it.
So what would you say are some of the biggest myths, Fran, that people have about cancer?
Well, I would say that they think that there's a cure for it.
Okay.
Instead of a cause for it.
This is the first call-in show when I get to be Dr. Marissa, the kinder, gentler Dr. Laura. And people call in to get their life tires balanced and their critical thinking or their BS, their belief systems, smog checked. And today I am delighted to have Malie calling in from Birmingham, Alabama.
We could go 90 days and end up having terrible sex. And then you say, well, the relationship's not all about sex. Well, if I'm not getting great sex from you, then I'm going to get it from somebody else. Right?
That moose just got put on the table. And I see Josh and Jim.
I have to agree
You're
with Clyde.
both nodding. Ramon's sort of half nodding because his wife's listening. But
I understood what was going to happen if Muhammad Ali's youngest daughter, made public that I was going to become a boxer. So I wanted to make sure this was the path that I wanted to go down.
you are absolutely fabulous, beautiful inside and out. And I'm giving you Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award today.
Thank you.
Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful trip that started from this tropic point.
When I go, I'm gone.
Are you lonely?
No.
Nah, I knew that was going to be
But
the answer.
I surround myself with people. I mean, I'm always the one cooking for things. Or I'm always the one that decorates first and come to my house. All the orphans that have no place.
I'm going to have no place to go, so I can come over.
Come on over.
And life is so amazing if we can see it.
Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You're tuned into Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports Radio Station, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, Tiki Live, Rumble, and more. Why so many places? Because I want to maximize my splatter zone for more hope and happiness. And so I have topics and guests to that end, and theories as well. If you missed actually any of my 1,070 shows, today's 1,070, 604. I've been saying 400. 604 consecutive weeks on the air. Thank you for the finger. Somebody just gave me this finger, not the other one. And we are just celebrating how amazing life is. That's why the show has no gossip, no scandal, and no K words. No Kanye talk, formerly or now. Because I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. So, and today it is Wednesday, and we do have doctors in the house, which we're having an interesting time getting her on this morning. She was in the wrong studio. This is what happens when I'm on every single weekday morning. And she's rebooting, so she's going to be here pretty soon. But if you have not free subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do. We're about to hit 2,000, which is very exciting. And you will get an alert every weekday morning so that you can join us here. And we have a very active, wonderful cashew gallery. We have Troy streaming in from Chicago. And we'll do a little commercial while we're waiting for Dr. Tiffanie. I am going to be on his show this Friday night. So you're going to want to free subscribe on his YouTube channel. And he guarantees that I'll be hitting 2,000 on Friday. I'm trying to beat him and hit 2,000 before Friday. But we're just so excited to continue to offer you more hope and happiness here on this show. I am going to invite you to have breakfast with me right now and take a bite of my gratitude sandwich, which is 8 specific things on the top of my bun that you are grateful for. And we go back and forth. And then the bottom of the bun is, what do I appreciate about myself? And the reason why I do this discipline every single show this last year is because there's so much bad news out there. You don't have to, you just open your eyes. If you have anything on like this or your TV or whatever you're streaming, it's CNN, constantly negative news. If it bleeds, it leads. So it was very important for me to start the show in the most positive way. So that's why we do gratitudes. Here we go. What are you grateful for this morning? I am grateful that I have multiple smart devices within reach. I am grateful that I had time to put together an extended introduction so that my sound engineer has less to do. Sorry, Frank. But I am grateful that I have a great sound engineer who is very supportive in the back there at the studio out in the Inland Empire. I'm grateful that thanks to COVID, I am able to live stream and stream live and bring you this show from my virtual studio in my living room, which, let's see, we haven't had time to adjust here. All right. And I am grateful for, let's see, Troy's coming in here for good supportive friends who encourage and build you up. And I will ditto that. I definitely have that as well in my life. I am grateful that Southern California Edison was able to restore the electricity that went off somehow this morning. Don't know why. I always know because I am thrown out of my computer. But I am super grateful that I have running water and electricity because apparently we are in the top 8% in this particular world called Earth and its inhabitants. If you have a roof over your head, food in the fridge, and money in your wallet. So I am so grateful for that. And that is my last gratitude. Let's go to the bottom of the button. What do you like about yourself? And this is a purposeful delineation between gratitude and appreciation. Gratitude, I say, is outside of ourselves. Appreciation is inside. What do we like about ourselves? The reason why this is important, it is my BS, my belief system, that you can really take responsibility for your mental health with building a foundation of self-care, self-love. Yesterday, I played it as a tribute, my interview with Bishop Carlton Pearson, and who is now on the other side. He went to heaven or back to our beautiful place of love, peace, joy, and no pain, where we all come from and where we're all going when we die. That death just being us, out of the body, but we live on. He is there now. He's loving us from there in a way that is even more intense than as we do when we're in our bodies. But he was talking about self-loathing, and he himself, millions of people tuning into his Pentecostal church and doing all these things and winning awards and singing and all of that. And yet he had a base of self-loathing. And I really, really, really identified with that. And so I know I'm not alone. I know that other people have that core. In my clinical psychology field that I have my undergrad and first master's in, I we call that the imposter syndrome. So if you identify with that, you're not alone. A lot of us sort of live life pretending. So I use this bottom of the bun exercise to really exercise our muscle of knowing who we are in the best of who we are. So what do you like about yourself? I'll start. I appreciate my ability to stall and do something meaningful and multitask at the same time. I got a finger for that one. This finger, thank you. What do you appreciate about yourself? Troy, he appreciates his serving nature. I like to be a helper who supports others. Yes, you do. I appreciate my ability to laugh at just about everything, including myself. I appreciate my ability to enjoy. I love enjoying my life. I love juicing my life. I love the deliciousness of life. I think I'm done with my appreciations there. I also appreciate, finally, my ability to apologize. I apologized this morning for something that I don't even know if I needed to, but I'll tell you, I feel better just because I apologized, just in case I needed to. So I appreciate that about myself. I used to hate apologizing. I used to defend myself, righteous indignation, blame you. I just don't, my family ancestry is, we call it the Tao way, T-A-O, my mom's maiden name. And the Tao women in our family don't apologize. It's really kind of crazy. But the good side is we're all very strong and we get things done. It was funny, my daughter, when I was up at Thanksgiving, was she's rebooting, was saying something about, it was almost a compliment. I was surprised. My older daughter and I are very much alike. And so sometimes we butt heads because we're so much alike. And she was saying to her boyfriend that, well, Mom and I are people who just go and get what we want. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. One, it was sort of a compliment. And two, it is true. She has good self-awareness. So I'm happy about that. And she definitely is a, I don't know if I can say that word. She's a bouncing ball buster. How's that for getting around that? Anyways, I am so glad that you are here with me now. We're going to go and start the topic, even though Tiffanie seems to be having some technical difficulties, which is very unusual for her. So I am going to, the topic today is, are you a giver or a taker? Are you a giver or a taker? And Dr. Tiffanie actually found a quiz that I am going to try to bring up. And I wanted to take the quiz if you want to take it with me. And let's see. Oh my goodness, she's here. I've never, this is like, she's my one co-host that I can count on being in studio before me. She's never been late. And this morning she had her 12%, which is okay. I'm just glad you're here because I was about to pull up the quiz, but I want you to introduce the topic. You missed breakfast, but I'm sure Troy did a good job handling that with me. So let's just jump into the topic this morning.
Yes. So the topic is about givers and takers because we've been talking about Thanksgiving. We just kind of wrapped it up, but truly every day is a day of Thanksgiving. And as we enter the holiday season, we want to be evaluating, are we givers? Are we takers? And you want to think about this with respect to your job, with respect to your family, and as well as with respect to your relationship. It is an important topic. And does it necessarily matter? Well, you want to evaluate your situation because two givers can function well, two takers can function well, and a giver and a taker can function well. It just matters where you stand. And as long as there's an understanding and you are content and your needs are being met and you're happy, that's all that matters. But a lot of times it's good to take inventory. And as we prepare and we're going into the Christmas season, it's good to know where you stand and where you're at. And if you are a giver and you're with a taker, and you're not happy and you're not verbalizing that, sometimes that can wear and tear over time and it can become resentment and anger and frustration and it can lead to divorce. And there's a joke that says 100% of divorces start with marriage. So
I've not heard that one. Mine is, why is divorce so expensive? Do you know this one?
Mm-mm.
Because it's worth it.
That's a good one.
Or love is grand, divorce is $100,000 or more.
Yeah,
Added, one more zero to that one. That's something that Dr. Tiffanie and I have in common and bond over, is that we both ended up paying our husbands to get out of the marriage. And my lawyer said to my judge in the final hearing, when he said, you have to pay spousal, child, and everything, and all that, upwards of millions. My lawyer said to the judge, but Your Honor, that's not fair. And the judge looked straight at me and said, well, you wanted equal rights. Can you believe that?
Yeah,
Like,
but you know,
stunning.
you cannot put a price on sanity. And you just have to remember that. You cannot put a price on sanity.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So here we go. I am going to do my little magic share because I love doing this. And I just copy and pasted the giver taker test. So first, I'm going to guess that I'm a taker. Okay, so you've already taken this test, right?
Yeah. Now, can you guess what I am?
You're a giver.
Ding, ding, ding. I am.
Ding, ding, ding. Okay, that's why we get along. We got a balance going on here. All right, here's the giver taker test. Share it. All right, here we go. I agree to take this test for personal purposes only. All right, here we go. And Troy, you can take this along. Frank as well. I'm going to guess that Troy is a giver and Frank is also a giver. Okay. These classes are not as good as I thought. Let's try these ones. Nope. All right. It's Friday night and you've really been looking forward to a quiet night at home watching TV. As you're getting nice and comfortable on the couch, your partner comes home and announces that they're feeling very pumped up. They want to go out for dinner at a trendy restaurant bar and would love to go dancing afterwards. What do you do? Well, I'm usually the partner, but let's see. Like what? Anyways, I imagine it's not my idea, man. I refuse with guilty conscience. I ask for a rain check. Maybe it's I refuse to go. I'm in no mood. I refuse to go. I refuse to my calls me. Okay. I asked for a rain check. That would be me. You've climbed into your wonderful cozy bed after exhaustion. As your head hits the pillow, your partner asks you for one of those magical acrobs. What do you do? I agree to give one only after I will get one tomorrow. That's not true. I would demand one today, but that's not an option. You're sitting on the couch doing some important paperwork when your partner walks in, turns on the TV, and sits down beside you. You can barely concentrate on the task in hand. Turns away. I ask you, I demand, I continue working while I reach you without a word. I take the remote. I go to another room. Okay. Do you ever find yourself refusing minor friends to get in a glass wine all the time, often? This is hard for me because it's been a while since I had a partner. So it's been like 9 years, 8 months, 7 weeks, 6 days for us. Let's see. Minor requests. Sometimes. I will say sometimes. You and your partner are planning to go see a movie. How do you typically make the decision which one? Oh man, I ultimately, I have to say that. It's true. I want to go to the movie I want to go to. When it comes to, oh wait, where am I? What happened? Progress step. Oh, new page, sorry. When it comes to doing nice things, making supper, giving you a massage, you expect your partner to do them often? No, that's not true. Sometimes I make supper. I would like them to. It's your anniversary next week and you notice that your partner has marked a big date on their calendar. What do you do? Okay, start calling. Those are my favorite. Plans together. I would consider making plans in advance. So taking care. I would talk to my partner. Is that what you said on this one? Do you remember?
Yes.
Okay. At work, your partner has been placed in charge of one of the company's most prestigious. Not only is there heavier, but his time is on. What would you do? Offer a meeting, take out dinner, how exhausting, support my mom, and be calling my partner soon. I express I'm not getting attention. Man, this is like, golly. I mean, there's not many nice choices. I'd support my partner. You just want a radio, funny, contest offering an all-expensive. Unfortunately, partner just started and can't get the time. They're really deported. Pack my bags. Yeah, baby. Let's see. I'd acknowledge it would suck, but go regardless. I'd discuss it, turn down. Heck no. And turn down the price. No. Pass the trip. No. It's either one or two. Which one did you do? Don't tell me you said you didn't go.
Oh, of course I go.
Oh, okay. Did you do pack my bags or why waste a free trip? Let's see.
I talked to my partner and let him know, I'm gonna go without them.
Okay. Okay. I'd probably do my best to convince them that I feel terrible, but I'll go on the trip anyways. That's kind of lying, but it's to try to make them feel better. Your partner has made plans for both of you this weekend to see one of his old friends from high school. You absolutely can't stand. It's a funny test. The last time you were together, your partner's friend the whole time. Yeah, I can't stand people like that. Love single. What would you do? I'd agree to go. He owes me big time. Wouldn't have a good time. I'd suggest my partner goes by themselves. For sure. Okay, we're almost done. You and your partner have been fighting a lot recently. I can't see, is Troy doing this too? You and your partner have been fighting a lot, and I want Frankie to do this too. You and your partner have been fighting a lot recently. I forgot to, hold on. Let me, is this? Let's see if here's the test in case anybody wants to go there and do it themselves. I'm sorry, I forgot to do that. All right. You've been fighting a lot, can't figure out what's going on, feel you still want to be together. You will make an appointment to see a counselor. What is your reaction? I'd go. I'd first wonder, I'd go. It's probably just what we'll need. Right? It's Saturday and you have plans for the day. Wake up, looking forward to finding partner. He's come to case of the flu. What do you do? I head out, make sure to call and check in. I head out, bring back goodies, and I go ahead with my head. They'll be fine. I'll bring back goodies. I mean, can you do this one too? Call and check in every hour? Which one's nicer? I guess I should check in. All right. When in a relationship, Valentine's is the day you typically expect a gift from my partner. No, I give it in return without expecting. No, forget all about it. Ignore. No. Okay. Exchange. I don't like this test. It doesn't have like what I would do.
Well, what would
I would give a gift, but I'd expect one in return. That's not an option.
Well, that's the first option. Exchange gifts with your partner.
Okay. You and your partner making love. What is that? It's been so long. You've just climaxed, but your partner's not quite there yet. What do you do? Oh, come on. This is like a stupid question.
Well, no, because some people, they're like, okay, forget you. I got mine.
That's true. This is more geared to guys, I think. Keep going. All right. But in my head, I'd be like, God, please finish already. No, I'm kidding. When my partner and I argue, it typically ends with a compromise or a ceasefire. Let's do a ceasefire because I don't like that C word. I don't like compromise. So I'm not in a relationship. Your partner gets hurt performing an activity you don't approve of. What do you do? I get frustrated. I say something that will teach you. No. I am angry with them. It's honest. Your partner's wrapping up, but again, I don't like that answer. It's not a full answer. I used to teach questionnaire design, so I'm having a difficult time with this process. Your partner is just, there's some double-ended questions. And anyways, your partner is just wrapping up what was a rowdy partner when you arrive home from work one Friday night. You've had to put in some overtime. One of your colleagues is on house is in shambles. Unfortunately, now they're in the mood to clean up. Where's the cleaning lady option here? Resolve, promise, help my partner clean up tomorrow. That's totally a lie. This I probably totally lie. You're getting ready for a guy and girl when their partner calls begging you to cancel your plans.
Wait. Let's go back to the other question.
What
would you do? You said that was totally a lie. If your partner made a big mess.
Not there. It's not there. It's call a cleaning lady.
Okay. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. It's not there. You're getting for I need a new quiz with my answers in. Begging you to cancel your plans. One of the friends improperly for himself and your partner knows that if they don't show up, they'll be held a heck to pay. Your partner doesn't want to go alone. Unfortunately, your plans took weeks to organize. No, for sure. Stick to my plans. Go with my partner. Spend a couple hours or so with my partner. Then try to meet. Go out with friends and with that one. You absolutely adore your partner, but unfortunately, you can't say the same for their cat. I am actually allergic to cats, so this actually applies. Every time that you're pretty sure one day someone's going to attack you. Loves the cat. What would you do?
So what have you done in this situation?
Don't date them.
Oh.
Yeah.
But what if you were in love with him? What would you do? You met Mr.
Take
Right.
the allergy medication. I mean, it's not like my niece also has cats, and I just take that. But I'm not there all the time, right? So I'm not a big fan of cats anyways. So this is again, I'll be nice right now. The holidays have rolled around and you're excited to see your family getting together as a barrel laughs. Your partner's not looking forward. The kids screaming as well as one member gets stupid. Like, yeah, this is normal. It's obviously when the holiday you can spend the holidays with his or her family. What will you do? Arrange to spend time with both families. Spend holidays with his, hers. Insist, yeah, both families. Okay, is that it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I have to do this, right? I don't want to answer. No, I guess I can do this. Oh, you guys can't see this. Stop sharing because it has date of birth. I'm gonna lie. I guess I could have seen it. All right. Country of origin. Do you have to fill this out, huh, to get the results? I guess.
No, you don't have to answer.
Well, how do you get the results? Score my test. You have to do it to score your test. So anyways, okay, go. So what did you learn about taking when you took this test?
Well, I learned that I am a giver.
Mm-hmm. You were not surprised.
Yeah, I definitely was. That was not a big surprise to me, and I think it was important for me to see that that I was able to get to get an understanding of the degree of like you can just skip a lot of those questions and hit score my test. You don't that's just for their research purposes. And so like some of their quotes, it is explained that all relationships require a little bit of give and take. This is untrue. Any partnership demands that we give and give and give. And at last, as we flop into our graves exhausted, we're told that we didn't give enough. and that is by Quentin Crisp. And so I thought that that was an interesting quote. And then another quote by Khalil Gibran is give and take. For the bee, a flower is a fountain of life, and to the flower, a bee is a messenger of love. And to both bee and flower, the giving and the receiving is a need and an ecstasy. So that was a true interaction of giving and taking and giving and taking, a good, coherent relationship between the two. And so I thought that it helped me understand a little bit more of the giving and the taking with just reading and appreciating some of the preceding quotes before they give you a breakdown of what they believe giving and taking is. And then another one, the last one is to give, you must be willing to receive, and to receive, you must be willing to give, author unknown. And I believe that I'm really not good at receiving. Um, I know I am a giver, and that is something I do need to work on, and I have acknowledged that, and just reading through the breakdown of giving. So it's a quiz I recommend everyone listening and watching partake in. So if you're listening on the radio, please log on to the YouTube and go to the site and take this quiz. It's a good personal enlightening tool just to appreciate your status of where you are, because it's a matter of growth and just to improve yourself.
Yep. And I actually am shocked at my number. And let me guess your number first. So let me ask you this: the higher your number, the more of a taker you are, or the more of a giver you are?
The more of a giver you are. So what's your giver score?
So let me guess yours first. I will say you're an 80. How close am I?
Nope.
No?
Mm-mm.
More than 80?
Less than 80.
Oh, okay. Okay. 70.
Pretty close to it.
What is it? What was it?
68.
Oh, that was my next guess. Seriously. Because you know how I do eights and okay. So guess what my number is?
Probably 70.
As a giver? You said the higher the number, the more of a giver you are. I told you that I believe I'm a taker.
Yes, and I think you are more of a giver than you think you are.
Okay, well that is true, but my number. Take a guess at the number. Troy, what do you think my number is before I reveal? What do you think? Dr. Tiffanie. What
Maybe
number? Yes.
55.
70. You said 70, right?
Yeah, initially said 70.
And then you're saying 55?
Yeah, now I'm saying 55.
You're so close. You're closer than I was. Let's see. I need to move this. I'm a 54.
Oh, 54. Okay.
Yeah. According to your score, you seem to have struck a perfect balance between give and take. You do not give incessantly, nor do you make unwarranted demands of your partner. You're a sharer. With this style, things are much more likely to flow smoothly in your relationship. You give when you feel you have something to offer, and take when your partner is willing to offer you something of value. You seem to be comfortable with this arrangement and are able to recognize your needs and desires as well as those of your partner. In addition, if your partner is also a sharer, your relationship is likely to be a healthy one, at least from this point of view. Except I don't have it. It should be noted, however, that if you have a tendency of giving when you don't mean it, this could be a problem. Bestowing a gift or favor on your loved one only to subtly make them feel guilty for taking it as a behavior that can quickly eat away at the strongest of relationships. Remember, the act of giving is only fulfilling if you actually mean it. Ah, darn.
Mm-hmm. See, what I learned from my husband was that I gave entirely too much. And I probably was like an 80, 90% giver at that point. And at that time, for the 20 plus years we were married. And so I had to try to correct that. So I read a lot of books to try to go through that. And I've been in a lot of therapy to try to correct that and
Okay.
to correct those behaviors and to try to speak up and to try to verbalize my wants and my needs. So I still am a giver, but I also recognize that I have needs and I have wants, and they need to be recognized and they need to be met. And I deserve happiness too.
Yes.
Every person needs to learn to do that. Every giver needs to learn to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And your comments brought up to me that I tried to answer those questions where I am now. And if I had answered honestly how it was during that marriage, I would be in your boat. So I didn't think to answer the questions like I was, because I was completely codependent, which is the terminology in our field when you put other people's needs in front of yours. So Codependent No More is an excellent book that I just actually on some show this week recommended for anyone who does overly give, and Women Who Love Too Much. Those are the two books that I used in order to balance myself out. Knowing also that sometimes in order to get to that balance, you have to overly swing. So I went from, being overly codependent and whatever, to make him happy, I would do whatever made him happy. But when I was finally like, F you, then I did everything to the other extreme to not. Like, he liked longer hair. I was done. I went out and chopped my hair off really short. Because I'm one of the few people I know that gets a lot of compliments when my hair is shorter. Most men prefer that's a stereotype, but it is a group difference that if you, do a survey, most men do prefer longer hair. So, but yeah, if I had done the survey, how I was in that marriage, I think I would be up to the 68 where you were, or maybe even more, because I put up with a lot to try to make him happy.
Mm-hmm. And see, and 68 is an improvement for me, and I'm trending downward because I'm not where I was. And like I said, 68 is an improvement. So if you find yourself paying for everything, paying for all the dinners, paying for all the trips, paying for everything, going out of your way to do everything, bending over backwards to meet all of the needs in his relationship or her relationship or your relationship, you should reevaluate where your relationship stands. And if you're trying to buy someone, you can't buy someone. And a relationship isn't about gifts, it's about time, and it's about appreciating someone. And if
By me. Sorry, I couldn't resist.
and if someone isn't giving you their time, time is free. And you need to evaluate what's being prioritized. And if you're not being made a priority, you need to reevaluate that, because what's important in a relationship is what's being given, is not necessarily gifts.
Yeah.
It's yourself. You're the most important thing. Are you giving yourself to someone, and is that person giving themselves to you? And if they're not giving themselves to you, what is it that they're prioritizing? I always say God, family, everything else. What are they prioritizing? Are they prioritizing you in their life? And
Yeah.
if they're not, then reevaluate that.
Yeah, I actually have a different order. God, or my UPS man, Universal Power Source, who delivers every morning when I pray him at the tape, and then self, and then others. Because I think that we have that order wrong. We see selfishness as something bad, but because of that, we're exhausted because we're always trying to please everybody else. So you're the one who originally said, that airplane thing, right? It's God, self, take care of yourself, and then others.
That's correct.
That is really important. If you've just tuned in and you're wondering what's going on in studio today, it is Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News Radio, home to the Asian Opera, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, and my YouTube TV channel, where if you free subscribe, you will get not only an alert to tune in, you also get the opportunity to be in the cashew gallery chatting away. And we have streamers. We have my loyal co-captain of my fan club here in the chat, Troy Bocelli. And I will be on a show on Friday. Last call with Troy. Dr. Tiffanie, I don't know what you're doing on Friday night, but you could come on and introduce yourself there. But I get to chat on Last Call with Troy Bocelli on Friday. And if you've missed any of my 1,070 shows, again, if you free subscribe, you'll help me. I'm almost at 2,000, Dr. Tiffanie. I think I was at 1,996. And let's see if I got any yesterday. But oh my gosh, I'm at 1,999. Can you freaking believe it? I am one off. You gotta see this because I'm like shocked. That was a surprise. Look at that. And the cool thing is, I keep saying that I don't care about numbers, and I don't care about numbers like a lot of people do, but I'm trying to move this over. But the cool thing is that I have, let me see if I can make this work here. Let's see, analytics. This is the cool part, is that enough people are actually getting something out of this show. That's why I like 302,506 views. So that I'm happy about, because people are finding this useful and finding what we're talking about useful. And topic today is, are you a giver taker? I am surprised that I am not as much of a taker as I thought. I just mentioned the balance, the going to the other extreme. When I was dating, before I met this guy that I became codependent with and married, I was dating through a dating service. Do you remember Great Expectations, Dr. Tiffanie?
Mm-hmm.
Do you do? Okay, I'm dating myself now. Great Expectations. And I met this guy who was a lawyer, and we went out for probably like 6 months. And he broke up with me because he said that my motto was, "What have you done for me lately?"
Oh.
Good for him for putting that moose on the table. I didn't necessarily see that, but you can tell that I went from that and then getting married and completely losing all sense of myself. I think it's because I was modeling. I felt good about my body. I felt good about, so I thought I was all that on the outside. On the inside, I didn't think so.
But you should have self-confidence. So
I was I had, now this is true confessions. Dr. Tiffanie, when I would go out for dinner and I had the expectation for a guy, I'm not like this anymore, okay, in case you were debating dating me or not. But I was so full of myself on the outside to hide the internal insecurity that I would have a bathroom test for the guys that I was dating, that if they did not pick up the check and pay for it while I went to the bathroom after the meal. When I got back, if that check wasn't taken care of, I wouldn't go out with it again. That's how cocky I was. That is not good. I'm not saying, yeah, that. So thanks for defending me, Dr. Tiffanie, but I was way out of
Well, you know.
I can't believe I just admitted that on the air. But yeah, I live my life out loud. So let's see. What is the application? Oh, Troy's an 80. I would have guessed that. Wasn't that my first guess for Dr. Tiffanie? So yeah. See, I would have guessed that. So I was correct. Now I want to see what Netter scores as. That's his wife. My guess is that she's also going to be an 80. But we'll see what happens. We'll see who is the bigger giver. I don't know. They're pretty happily enmeshed, I think.
And that's good because research shows that it's fine. Two givers can do well together, and actually two takers can do well together, and a giver and a taker can do well together. So as long as they're happy and they're content, it's fine. The only problem is that if a giver and a taker are together and the giver gets fatigued with the taker because they're giving so much that the taker wears them out. And that's kind of what happened to me.
Yeah, but I will put some responsibility on the giver. If you are codependent and a giver, you're trying to get milk from a tractor. So, you know, when if you're a giver and you pick a taker constantly and then you complain that they're a taker, I would look at yourself and what part of you is trying to get milk from a tractor.
In my defense, I was 14 when I met him.
I wasn't talking about you. Don't get defensive on me here. I'm talking about women, and there are a lot of them, who will constantly come and complain to me about how narcissistic their mate is. And the first thing I ask them is he the first narcissistic mate you've had? And then at 100% of the time, they will say no. And I'll say, so there's a pattern in your picking to pick people who are takers. So that means you don't feel of value enough in yourself to be able to say, I give, then you give. And here's the model that I've been teaching my daughters since I realized that I was broken and went and helped to fix myself. So if you're a giver, this is what I would recommend. Here's you, here's them. You don't keep making a $50 move, because when you give a $50 move, you're enabling them to make a 5-cent move. So if you make a $25 move, then they can make a $25 move. That's healthy, right? If you constantly give that. Now, I would to balance myself out, I started doing a 5-cent move, expecting people to go and give me that 24.95. So, but healthy relationships, you make a 50% move, they make a 50% move.
Mm-hmm.
Some people will tell me, no, that's not possible, Dr. Marissa. Somebody has to have 51%. That's the alpha. Fine. You know, if you want to do it that way, do it that way. But you get my point, is that meeting in the middle is in always the most balanced and happy making, not necessarily a compromise. I had a student come to my Tai Chi class and she brought her husband. And I said, oh, that's great. You know, you both want to learn some Tai Chi and Qigong. And she goes, oh, no, he does not want to do this at all. But we have this agreement that he gets points for coming and doing something that I want to do that he doesn't do. And then he can cash in those points later. I thought, now that is a healthy, interesting, and innovative way to not have to compromise necessarily, but definitely there's a happy in the future thing.
That's a good way to agree and compromise and communicate, because if he gets points, that means she gets points. Maybe she watches a football game or reads a book. That's a healthy way of give and take, because if a giver is always giving, they need to give in a way that they communicate with their partner and meets the needs of that partner, whether it's hugging that partner, even though they're not into hugging and cuddling. They need to do whatever that partner needs to satisfy their partner. And even if it's not what they want, you need to meet your partner's needs. And a healthy relationship is about give and take.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
I think that's the most important part about living life, whether you're talking about your job, whether you're talking about a marriage, whether you're talking about dating. I think it's important to communicate and interact. And as long as you are communicating, doesn't matter if you're two takers, if you're two givers, or if you're a giver and a taker together, as long as you are communicating with your partner, you can make it work. But if you're not communicating and you're not meeting the needs of your partner, then you will have a problem.
Yeah, 80% of the time, not 100% of the time. People ask me all the time, when is a relationship too much work? If you're not happy 80% of the time with your partner, right? On average, right? We're not talking about, you can be 100% happy in this moment with your partner. But on average, if you're 80% happy, then you're good. 20% of the time, he's going to or she's going to be off. You're going to be off. It's not going to match. But 80% of the time, if you match, great. If it's not 80% of the time, then let them go. Can you imagine being with someone who doesn't like you for who you are most of the time? It's not about you deserving someone better. It's about you loving them enough to be with someone who doesn't keep nitpicking and making their lives miserable because you don't like them the way they are. And that's a little tough love. Most of my clients who are women that come in and they say, I'm happy 80% of the time, but then they spend 80% of their time with their mates, beaching and moaning about how horrible I wish you wouldn't do this and I wish you wouldn't do that. That's a horrible way to live. So a little bit of tough love for the women there. We're coming up on the end of the show. Dr. Tiffanie, final word.
Final words. If you are critical of your partner and you're not happy with your partner, you need to reevaluate, are you with the right partner? That is some tough love right there, because you should love who you are with and you should be happy with who you are with. So if you're not happy with your partner, reevaluate why you are or are not happy with them, and be open and honest and communicate that with your partner. And it's okay, because love is honest.
Absolutely. All right. My final word is, if this holiday, if you become aware, are you a giver or a taker? If you're a giver, do not spend so much time finding that perfect gift, because if you're with the taker, nothing's going to be good enough. You have to decide how much time you're going to do gifting. And if you write a love note, sometimes those are the perfect gift. That's for a taker too. Thank you so much for joining us today. This is Doctors in the House with Dr. Marissa and
Dr. Tiffanie Tate.
Thanks for joining us on Wednesday here on Take My Advice. I'm Not Using Hip Bounce with Dr. Marissa, the morning show. Peace in, peace out. World peace through, inner peace. Now go and have the best day ever. We'll see you tomorrow. Straight talk.